Good day, grade 9 students. Our topic for today is all about proportion. I am your pre-service teacher from Tarlac State University, Christine Claire P. Mateo. Our learning competency for today: describe a proportion and apply the fundamental theorems of proportionality to solve problems involving proportions. First, let's define what is a ratio. So it is a comparison of two values. So we can write a ratio in two ways, or we can write it we can use a colon, or we can write it as a fraction. So we can write it as A is to B or A over B. So for examples, we have here number 1, the ratio of 2 hours to 5 hours is 2 is to 5. So why is it 2 is to 5? Because we have to write first yung unang binanggit sa statement. So for this example, ang unang binanggit ay 2 hours tapos 5 hours. Kaya siya naging 2 is to 5. So number 2, the ratio of 3 days to 1 week is expressed as 3 days to 7 days. So our ratio is 3 is to 7. So the ratio of number 3, the ratio of 5 meters to 1/2 kilometer is 5 meters to 500, or 1 is to 100. So bakit siya 1 is to 100 na? Because we already simplified it. Okay, proportion. A proportion, it is a comparison between two quantities. It is equation stating that two ratios are equal. Again, it is equation stating that two ratios are equal. So we have here the fundamental law of proportion. The product of the means equals to the product of the extreme. So we have here AD equals BC. So let's see. A is to B equals C is to D. So first, let's get the product of the means. So BC. B times C is equal to BC, and the product of the extremes, 8 times D. So we have here AD is equal to BC. Next, let's move on to the properties of proportion. So number 1, proportion, we have cross multiplication property. So if A over B is equal to C over D, then AD is equal to BC, where B is not equal to 0 and D is not equal to 0. So nag-cross multiply lang tayo, 8 times D equals B times C. So let's try it. So we have here y over 2 equals 3 over 2. Let's cross multiply. That would be 2y equals 2 times 3. So 2y is equal to 6. Let's divide both sides by 2. That would be y equals 3. For number 2, we have inverse property or reciprocal. So we'll just get the reciprocal of A over B and the reciprocal of C over D. That's why we have B over A equals D over C. So let's try it in our given. So that would be y over 2 is equal to 3 over 2. So let's just get the reciprocal of y over 2. Kaya siya naging 2 over y, and the reciprocal of 3 over 2. Kaya siya naging 2 over 3. Let's cross multiply. 2 times 3 equals 2 times y. So 2 times 3 is equal to 6. So 6 is equal to 2y. Let's divide both sides by 2. Y is equal to 3. Okay, for number 3, we have alternation property. So we just, ang ginawa lang natin is A over C equals B over D. So let's just try it in our given. Y over 2 equals 3 over 2. So in-over lang natin si y over 3 equals 2 over 2. Let's cross multiply. 2y equals 3 times 2 is 6. So 2y equals 6. Let's divide both sides by 2. That would be y equals 3. Okay, for the next property, we have addition property. So if A over B is equal C over D, then A plus B is equal to A plus B over B is equal to C plus D over D. So nag-add lang tayo, in-add lang natin yung numerator sa ating denominator. So kapag nag-add tayo dito ng denominator, i-add din natin yung denominator natin dito. Okay, so let's try. So y over 2 is equal to 3 over 2. So let's just add yung mga denominator natin. That would be y plus 2 over 2 equals 3 plus 2 over y. Cross multiply. So 2 times quantity y plus 2 equals 2 times quantity 3 plus 2. So let's use distributive property. That would be 2y plus 4 equals 6 plus 4. So 2y equals 10 minus 4. 2y is equal to 6. So let's divide both sides by 6. That would be 2y over 2 equals 6 over 2. Y is equal to 3. Next, subtraction property. So kung dito, addition property, dito naman subtraction property. So pinalitan lang natin ng minus ito, no? Itong plus, pinalitan lang natin ng minus. So let's try. Y over 2 equals 3 over 2. So y minus 2 over 2 equals 3 minus 2 over 2. So let's cross multiply. So 2 times quantity y minus 2 equals 2 times quantity 3 minus 2. So let's use distributive property. 2y minus 4 is equal to 6 minus 4. So when we simplify, that would be 2y is equal to 2 plus 4. So 2y is equal to 6. Let's divide both sides by 2. Y is equal to 3. So for number 6, we have if A over B is equal to C over D, then A plus C is equal to B. A plus C over B plus D is equal to A over B equals C over D. So ang ginawa lang natin, nag-add lang tayo ng numerator to numerator and denominator to denominator. So ang sabi dito, kahit ipag-add niya daw ang numerator to numerator and denominator to denominator, magiging lang siyang equal sa kahit saan dito. So pwede siyang equal to A over B or C over D. So let's try it in our given. Y over 2 equals 3 over 2. So that would be y plus 3 over 2 plus 2 equals y over 2 equals 3 over 2. So let's use the given or the value of y, which is 3. That would be 3 plus 3 over 2 plus 2 equals 3 over 2 equals 3 over 2. So let's simplify. That would be 6 over 4 equals 3 over 2 equals 3 over 2. So that would be 3 over 2. Okay, what if a term is missing in a proportion? So let's find the missing terms in each proportion. For number 1, we have x over 12 equals 3 over 4. So ang gagawin natin is to cross multiply. So 4 times x equals 12 times 3. So 12 times 3 is equal to 36. Let's divide both sides by 4 because we're looking for the value of x. So that would be x equals 9. So let's just substitute the value of x in our given para makita natin yung proportion. That would be 9 over 12 equals 3 over 4. Okay, for number 2, we have 8 over x equals 2 over 3. So let's just cross multiply. 8 times 3 equals 2 times x. So that would be 24 equals 2 x. Let's divide both sides by 2. X is equal to 12. So let's just substitute x in our given. That would be 8 over 12 equals 2 over 3. Okay, for number 3, we have n over 25 equals 2 over 5. So let's cross multiply. N times 5 or 5 times n is equal to 2 times 25. That would be 5n equals 50. Let's divide both sides by 5. That would be x equals 10. And let's just substitute our value of x in given. That would be 10 over 25 equals 2 over 5. Okay, for number 4, we have n over 5 equals 24 over 30. Let's cross multiply. 30 times n equals 5 times 24, or 24 times 5. That would be 30n equals 120. So let's divide both sides by 30. That would be n is equal to 4. And let's just substitute the value of n in our given. That would be 4 over 5 equals 24 over 30. Okay, for number 5, we have 5 over x equals x over 24. Let's cross multiply. That would be 24 times 5 equals 6 times x. 24 times 5 is equal to 120. 120 is equal to 6x. Let's divide both sides by 6. That would be x equals 20. So let's substitute the given or the value of x in our given. That would be 5 over 6 equals 20 over 24. Okay, let's move on to problem solving involving proportion. So a recipe for oatmeal cookies needs 2 cups of flour for every 3 cups of oatmeal. How much flour is needed for a big batch of cookies that uses 9 cups of oatmeal? So ang proportion natin is cups of flour over cups of oatmeal equals cups of flour over cups of oatmeal. So let's substitute sa mga given natin. So we have 2 cups of flour and 3 cups of oatmeal. So meron tayong 2/3 equals x over 9. So bakit siya x equals 9? Because we're looking for the cups of flour for a big batch of cookies if we have 9 cups of oatmeal. So let's just cross multiply. That would be 9 times 2 equals 3 times x. So 9 times 2 is equal to 18. 18 equals 3x. So let's divide both sides by 3. X is equal to 6. So we need 6 cups of flour for a big batch of cookies. So that's all for today. Thank you and God bless.